All right, good afternoon and welcome back to Focus Africa series. Today, this afternoon, I'm hosting Mr. Ibrahim Kazin Oladeji on this show, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria studio. My name is Success Bright and this is powered by Business Day Media. Welcome to this show, Mr. Ibrahim.
All right, thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining me on this show. We talk to a lot of high-profile individuals and people making impact in the communities around them across Africa to share their story and tell people what they do, use their story to inspire others, to tell them there is still hope. If people are making it in this continent, we can make it and inspire people and change more lives. So I'm very excited having you in the studio today, Mr. Oladeji.
Great.
Thank you for coming. I want to also say a special thank you to all our viewers from across the continent who are tuned in to watch this series this afternoon, and also to say a very special thank you once again to Business Day Media and all the team that are making this thing very possible today. So thank you so much, everyone. It's always a date with us every Saturday on this show in this same channel, 12 noon every Saturday. So thank you so much. So I'll go right into giving you the profile of my guest, and I'll make it very short because we have some very important things to discuss in the studio today. So Mr. Ibrahim Kazin Oladeji holds an MBA, MNIF, Science, PMP, CISA, and COVID-5. He is an IT consultant with over a decade of experience leading teams and working on audacious projects. He is a member of John Maxwell team. I've been talking to a lot of John Maxwell people recently. They are very loaded people, I must say. He is also a project management coach and has taught over 15,000 people from companies like KPMG, ADNOC, Vodacom, NLG, etc. Today we are in for a big lecture. We're talking to a coach today. So, Mr. Ibrahim, what more can you tell us about yourself on this show? I decided to make your profile very brief, but tell us practically from yourself. Let's hear from the horse's mouth more about you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. One more thing I think I should add is that I am an entrepreneur, a battered entrepreneur. I have extensive experience trying to work on different things and failing a lot at what I do. I come from a computing background. My core skill is computing, building IT solutions. That's what I do. That's my core skill. And then on top of that, at some point, I tried to pivot away from the consultancy kind of, consultancy flavor of what I do to the startup kind of stuff, wherein you actually build solutions and try to sell. And we failed. And then in recent times, by God's grace, we've been getting some success. And then let me also add that in recent times, for the past, I told you my background is tech. And for the past like 6, 7, 5 years, I've been trying to pivot more into helping people, making impacts, connecting. In fact, I even went back to school to study psychology. So in recent times now, I've really been, building myself in that line. So in addition to the computing stuff that you have actually said, I am someone who is on track to being a big name, by God's grace, in the area of human capital development, the area of impacting lives, and practically, delivering transformational experiences. Yeah.
All right, sir. Growing up, can you share a bit of your background with us, the schools you attended? I don't normally ask this question on the show, but I looked at your profile. I've seen the things you've done, how many degrees, qualifications you have. Was it always easy starting school? Where did you start from?
Okay, well, I started, let me start from the university, my undergrad. That was in UI 2000, finished my undergrad, my first degree. That was in 2008, 12 years ago. I did computer science. Then from there, I worked in Lagos for some years, then came back to UI for information science. Then after an MSc in information science, I got my MBA. Yeah, and then after my MBA, I have another degree in psychology ongoing. And then in the professional angle, I've got a number of certifications: PMP, CISA, PMP, Project Management Professional, CISA, Certified Information Systems Auditor, COVID-5, and quite a number of all of this. The whole idea, like you introduced me earlier, you said my name is Ibrahim Kaizin. My official name is Ibrahim Oladije. So, but my unofficial name is Ibrahim Kaizin. What does Kaizin actually mean? Kaizin means continuous improvement. Kaizin means how do you, it's a paradigm, it's a kind of methodology wherein you want to consistently grow, you want to consistently improve what you do, you want to consistently keep track, measure your progress, and keep ensuring that you're on track towards a particular goal. So that's my thinking. That's where I do my things, and that's what I preach. That's what I teach. That's what that's my way of life. So when you see me with all these courses, all these degrees, and all of that, it's my own way of continuously growing. And the degrees you see are just degrees, exactly. But 90% of the growth that we all have to do as professionals might not necessarily 90% of the growth that we need to go in as professionals might not necessarily have to be in the direction of degree. There are so many micro courses you find online now. There are so many micro degrees online. There are so many online courses. There are so many blogs, articles, and all of that. The whole idea is keep growing. The whole idea is be focused in life, know what you want, and continuously improve. So that's it.
Wow. Wow. Okay, this is very interesting. I mean, you've answered the hidden question. I didn't want to tell you why I asked the question, but you've answered it quite well. Okay, so any experiences growing up, maybe while you were in school or stuff like that influenced who you have become, and it's also influencing who you want to become your life to actually.
Yeah, quite a number of stuff. Let me just tell you some of them. As you can, if you look at me now, I actually look a lot younger than my age. I'm in my late I'm in my late mid-30s. In fact, let me even crack this small joke. Will you believe that?
You're in your late 80s. Did you say you're in your late 80s?
80s, K. I said mid-early 30s. The joke I was about cracking was that, that flyer that
you wanted to crack a joke. I decided to crack before you.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That flyer, will you believe that some of my guys that saw it, they said, are you campaigning for SG president? I was like, bros, calm down now. SG president, okay, I left school almost 15 years ago, So it has always been like that. I've always been younger than my peers. I had very fast education. I've always been younger than my peers. Even I've always had a very, very young face. I've always been this introvert. I've always been that guy who just wants to be behind the curtain. So I get to be bullied a lot. I used to be bullied a lot. Primary school, secondary school, even when I entered university, as in I was very small in stature. Well, I probably am still not too big in stature, not like you. So it's a kind of thing that it sets the mind up that you need to go the extra mile to prove your point. It sets the mind up that when others are pushing with 5 units of force, you want to push with 50. Because you know that you need to go the extra mile to be able to make your point known. This kind of thing, you're in class, you're in this. Well, apart from this, a lot of times people do come to you, but it's as bad as maybe young guys, you want to play football, nobody wants to have you in the team because they believe you are short one, you cannot run, you cannot jog, you cannot shoot, those kind of things. So then it was bad for me, but now I think it was one of those things that really helped me develop that mentality of always wanting to do beyond the average, of always wanting to, blast that average. There's no ceiling. Keep going. When others are aiming for something small, I want to aim for something big because I believe that I need to really push a lot harder. So that is on that side of my growing up. And then, okay, I mentioned it earlier, the kind of business turmoil I had some years ago. You see, when a lot of motivational speakers tell young minds to go into entrepreneurship, I think it's very important that they need to warn them that it's not a bed of roses. It's a very, very serious life. I got battered. I wasted millions of naira on different initiatives. And it was so bad. I got depressed. I had serious issues. But one thing I noticed was that as at the point in which I started dragging myself out of this thing, I asked myself an important question. What is wrong? What exactly? You failed. The first startup failed, second one failed, third one failed. You wasted a lot of money, dented integrity, loaned money from almost everybody I could remember. So the question is, fine, we all hear it, entrepreneurship is hard, but is it this bad? Does it have to be this terrible? So it was then I had to now, meet some mentors, ask some critical questions. And the most important question I asked was that, why have I been failing? And then I now realize that there is a unique pattern to the gap in competency, gap in knowledge, gap in execution that is actually responsible for the various variants of reasons why I've been failing. So that was that light bulb. That was that thing that felt, okay, I think this is the real issue. So what I think is those who really push youth into entrepreneurship, we need to make them understand that it's not a bed of roses. It's so difficult. You really need to persevere. You need to be very tough. Nigeria on its own is like operating from hell. I'm sorry to say that. There's so much of difficulty for you as a business. So much of difficulty. Is the infrastructure problem or even attitude problems from fellow Nigerians and all of that. So it's so difficult. But one thing is, it's not rocket science. If you're able to, be in the right place with the right mentors, with the right skills. So one very important thing I think I took out of that encounter in my life is that, and that is a common thing for people like us who are from technical backgrounds. We tend to always deceive ourselves into thinking that technical competency is the most important skill set you need to be a successful businessman. That is a very big fat lie. That is extreme. In fact, technical competency is not even among the top 3 things you need to succeed in a business. I mean, in a startup that has some tech component. So a lot of us, we just think because we can program, we can program, we can write, do software and all of that. So we just sit down, we have a particular idea. If I remember one of my first startup, I had that idea, and then I set up a small team and we built the software for 9 months. You won't believe it. It was at the end of the 9th month, we realized that we were totally on a different track. We were doing something that was, well, the idea looked good. The idea sounds good. It still sounds good till now, but are people ready to pay? Are people willing to pay? You understand? So that's one of those things that I really took out of that time, that technical competency is not enough. There's so much you need to have, so much you need to know to be able to succeed in business. I have so many stories to tell. Let me just stop at this point.
Okay, beautiful. All right, Mr. Ibrahim, what does it mean to be a project manager, a coach like you? What does it mean to be a project manager?
There are 2 levels to being a project management coach. There are 2 levels to being a project management coach. The first level is at the certification level, when you help people to become certified. When I say certified, I'm talking in the direction of maybe the PMP, project management professional, maybe the CAPM. There's some other certifications here and there, like the Prince 2. So the first level is in the direction of certification. But the second level is the direction of transformational experience. Wherein, because project management is a mother skill that comprises of a lot of competencies that have that capacity to significantly improve your life, improve the way you do your things, improve the way you think, improve the way you structure things, improve the way you plan, improve the way you execute, enhance your focus, enhance your dedication, your determination, you're being able to zero in on a target, and many, many more things around. So, certification aside, These are essential skills that a lot of us need to be able to excel. I just gave you an example of my life, part of my life story in which we all get to learn a lot of things in life the hard way. You fail. Then if you are lucky, you're able to get it right, and then maybe you pass. But the reality is, you could actually decide to leverage, stand on the shoulder of giants and put yourself on the path in which there's a higher probability that you would succeed. Not too sure. There's no one thing you will do that once you do it will succeed. It's a lie. It's just a game of chance. So you are just trying to do several things to increase the probability of success. So a lot of career surveys have been done, a lot of things have been done in the past, and you realize that for you to excel as a career person in the industry, for you to excel as a business person, there are just quite a number of skill sets that you need. I'm saying generic skill sets now, not technical stuff like engineering, computing, and all of that. I mean generic skill sets that whatever you are doing, even if you're a lawyer, even if you're an artist, even if you did Yoruba, whatever you did, there's some generic skill set that you all need, that we all need to develop, and we all need to consistently develop. So that's the second level of being a project management coach. Being able to transform you, being able to make you a better person, being able to put you on the path of success in the direction of continuous improvement. All of these things I'm saying are not, they're not adventures that you start today and you win today. But the most important thing is you need to have the right mindset. That's why when you see a coach, the first thing he wants to tweak is to tweak your mindset. You need to understand what exactly should be your attitude to life. What exactly should be your attitude to problems? What exactly should be your attitude to challenges? What exactly should be your attitude to quite a number of things? So if you can win at that level, then the next level is, okay, map the strategy to growth, and then in small steps, start moving. In small steps, start growing. And then you immerse yourself into a community of people who are like you. So let me stop at that.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, I've been opportunity to anchor so many events for business days, especially on SME Clinic, Millennial Hangouts, and stuff like that. And some of these programs are focused on businesses, business growth, careers, and how companies can move forward. And one of the things we found out over the years is that most companies don't have good structures. They don't have good visionary management. As a certified PMP, what are the benefits of project management and PMP training for business owners to help them accelerate growth? What are the benefits?
Beautiful. Now, project management as project management is quite tailored in the direction of you being able to manage projects in a professional way, in a better way. But one thing I keep telling people is the tons of skills, the tons of tools, the tons of techniques, tons of methodologies that you have in project management, you can take them out of project management and directly improve your personal life. You can take it out of project management and improve your businesses. For example, when we say cost management, is it only in projects you want to manage cost? When we say risk management, isn't it only in projects you manage risk? When we say risk, we mean opportunities in direction of being positive. Risk could be, it could be an opportunity, or it could be in the negative direction to mean threats. So project management, one of those things, it's one of what it preaches, and one of what it sets the foundation for you to achieve is not having good structures in what you do. I call something, I say, where belle-face approach to managing projects. That's a big problem that a lot of us face when we just try to do things based on just common sense. I'm not saying common sense does not work. Of course, common sense works. The problem with common sense is that if you're not careful, you would be learning you will be learning in a very expensive way. You'll be wasting time, wasting resources, and you'll be wasting, a lot of time, resources, money, blah, 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 if you are trying to use common sense to do what you do. And then, so you have the option of just using common sense or leveraging frameworks, leveraging standards, leveraging established principles to be able to put you on the path wherein there's a higher probability that you would succeed. Now, in the direction of businesses now, one thing is the mindset of always being organized. Being organized is a very huge luxury, especially for SMEs. I understand this very well because I also fall in that bracket. It's so easy, especially if you are a one-man business. It's so easy for you to get away with mediocrity. It's so easy for you to get away with not being organized. The problem is the earlier you're able to identify these problems, the better for you. Because you might think you are fine today, maybe you're able to pay salaries, you're able to meet your needs, but you are probably achieving a very tiny fraction of your potential. That is if the consequences of those things don't dawn on you faster than you can ever imagine. So one of those major things I think it can really help businesses to do a lot is that it will make them structured. It will make them, structured, that's the word. Make them structured. For example, you want to do projects. A lot of times we all just do projects and what's a project? Maybe we start from there. What's a project? A project is just essentially an endeavor. What are you doing? That's, is you have a particular goal and it's not like ongoing. It starts at this point, ends at this point, even if those points are not fully clear, but at least you know that it's not something you want to keep doing forever, that kind of thing. So you want to ensure you want to achieve success. And then what is the definition of success? Success does not mean getting results. It's just the first level of success that means getting results. More importantly, you want to get the right results the right way, using the most optimal form of resources, and then ensuring you carry the right people along, and many, many more stuff around that. So one of those major things, like I said earlier, is it's that the mindset of a project manager, if that is brought into how you run your business, would enhance the way you structure your things. A project manager documents things a lot. A project manager manages your team in a professional way. Is expected to manage your team in a professional way. A project manager manages risks, uncertainties. We all swim in tons of uncertainties around us. You have tools and techniques that you could use to manage your uncertainties. You have stakeholder management. That is extremely huge. A lot of SMEs sink simply because they are not able to manage their stakeholders effectively. These things are not rocket science. We have procurement management, of course. Well, most businesses handle their procurement one way or the other. So project management is like a big world consisting of numerous sub-worlds. And each one of those things consists of tons of tools, techniques, ideas, methodologies, principles that could really help businesses a lot.
I agree with you. This is very, very broad. And honestly, I'm really thinking of organizing a masterclass for you and my viewers so we can go very deep into these things. It's really very broad. Now, Mr. Ibrahim, talking about entrepreneurs, corporate organizations, even for personal benefits, what are the management, project management tools needed to scale up businesses at this level?
Okay. Let me tell you a story. There's this story that went viral. Well, I saw it for the first time 2 months ago. Some people said they've been seeing it before now. That's the story of that bridge in Honduras. It's quite, most people have seen it. It's called the Choluteca Bridge. The Choluteca Bridge. I think that should be how they're pronouncing it. So that bridge is in a region of the world that is very, they have extreme weathers there. So sometime in 1996 or so, thereabouts, the Honduras government brought big engineers, expert engineers from all over the world to come and construct a bridge that they want to be, to withstand extreme weather conditions. Okay, fine. They came around, they built that masterpiece, that very huge bridge, that was very strong, could withstand so much. Just a short while after that, I think in 1998 or so, is it hurricane something? There was something that came on. There was serious flooding and there was an extreme weather condition. I can't remember. I think it was a hurricane that came, and then there was so much of rain. It was said that they had the kind of rain they normally have in 6 months. They had, I think, 75 centimeters of rain or so, something like that. They had the kind of rain they normally have in 6 months. They had it in 4 days. The bridges in the whole region were destroyed. Roads were washed away. except the Choluteca Bridge. Now, where am I going? I'm coming. Okay, let me tell you more about the story. So the Choluteca Bridge did not get destroyed, but something else happened. Before I tell you what happened, let me link that analogy to your question. A lot of us today, we seem to have settled down in what we do. We seem to have, we are at ease. We kind of feel that, yes, I think we've put in enough efforts. Maybe once in a while I can grow, I'm fine, So, of course, we might be right. The Choluteca Bridge was very strong. The same way a lot of us have that illusion of being well entrenched in our businesses, of being well entrenched in our careers, of being well entrenched in whatever form in which we are doing different things in our lives today. But there's a problem. The problem is the future. That's the problem. The future. Things are changing at a serious speed today that has never been seen in the history of mankind. A lot of what we call knowledge today, in the next maybe 10 years, maybe even 5, maybe 20, maybe 50, would be redundant, would not be of any use today. Of course, I'm sure you'll have read about so many things they call degrees that they feel you probably shouldn't go and study it anymore nowadays. Now that we have blockchain, artificial intelligence, and all of that, a lot of the conventional degrees, conventional career lines will be disrupted. So if you now stand in those areas, you're just like the Choluteca Bridge. It was strong. It's still strong. Your knowledge is still strong. Your capacity is still strong. Your standing in the industry is still very strong. But there is a but. The future. You know what is coming. So they built the bridge to be very strong, and it was actually very strong. But something out of their control came. The weather came, and then the normal channel for the river, because of the huge massive flooding, it changed course for the river, and the river stopped flowing under the bridge, started flowing beside the bridge, maybe even far from the bridge, and then the bridge became useless. And then the knowledge changed, and then that your glorified career, that your glorified degree, it became redundant. It became out of place. That is something that's a story that could be told some years from now if you do not read the trends. Understand. Well, you really cannot understand the future no matter what you do. What you can just do is you can put yourself in a position to probably be in a better, better position to maneuver yourself around what happens in the future. So there are lots of things that have been written around now. Lots of people have called the 20th century, the 21st century, blah, 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 and all of that. So when you read these things, these are the skills I think should be made as good as compulsory in our schools today. A lot of what we teach today are really not, they are useful. Yes, they have their place. But rather than having to get children to start memorizing multiplication table when all you need is to have a phone with you. And so a lot of the methodologies we use today might not stand the test of time. So a lot of what we call our careers today might not stand the test of time. So just like the Choluteca Bridge, in which something came, the bridge remained there. Your career could remain, your knowledge could remain, but the world might move. Just the same way the course of the river moved. So one of those things and that is the reason why I regard project management as a potential superpower. That's what I call it. Why I call it a potential superpower is because it puts you on that path that makes you know you are ignorant. Because you really need to grow and keep growing in different directions to be able to be relevant. There's so much of soft and hard skills you need to continuously improve in for you to be able to beat your chest and say, I am a project manager. Project management is not necessarily a job title. Project management is not necessarily a role per se. Well, it's more of a role than a job title. It's not, you don't have to be in a job title called project manager for you to actually be a project manager. When you're talking of project management, we're talking of leadership, we're talking of motivation, coaching, influencing, political awareness, cultural awareness, negotiation, conflict management, tons and tons of soft skills that come together to power you up as a project manager. And very few people in the world can say, yes, they are experts all around in all of these things I'm saying, and many more. So what it means is, for you to be a smart person as a project manager, you have to be on that path of continuously improving yourself in all these directions. I have a list somewhere. According to World Bank, okay, I don't have it.
Well, Mr. Ibrahim, before you go into that, there's something I actually wanted to ask you. Are you with me, sir?
I'm with you.
All right, you are the managing partner at GEM Center for Human Capital Development, and I know you're going to tell me now that project management is a top career choice to pursue, right? So if that is the answer, yes. What is your organization, GEM Center for Human Capital Development, doing to help people learn about project management and get involved with organizing things for companies? What practical steps are you doing? Do you have trainings? What is your organization actually into? Are you there, Mr. Ibrahim? Mr. Ibrahim, can you still hear us? All right, it's been an interesting discussion with Mr. Ibrahim. All right, it's been an interesting discussion so far with Mr. Ibrahim. We're still expecting him back in the studio to continue with this interesting discussion. And he's been talking about project management, the holistic aspect of it, and how it's helping organizations. And he's back in the studio. Can you hear me, Mr. Ibrahim?
Yes. Sorry. Well, I don't know. It's actually trying to ring here. So, okay, it's actually raining. So I think that's why the network is
okay. We're actually
completing now. So please forgive me.
We're actually completing on this, and I'm asking you the question. Did you hear my question? Did you get my question?
Yes, you were saying that what are we doing to actually, make project management something that is more adopted among the masses? Is that correct? Hello, can you hear me?
Exactly.
Beautiful. So what I was saying then was, I said, in my profile, it's written there that I've actually trained well over 15,000 people on project management. And that has been in the past 3 years. 3 years exactly, in the past 3 years. So we have an active online community of project management enthusiasts, cutting across largely in the student stroke early career people, and then maybe some pockets of them at the professional level. So this is something we are very passionate about. And that's the reason why we get to do so much in this area of trying to train students, young people, in being able to, get these skills. In fact, right now, there's something we are doing at the moment. PMI, Project Management Institute, they're partnering with us and some other institutes, some few partners across Africa, to actually enhance their capacity to manage projects via a subsidized training plus a discounted, it's called CAPM, discounted CAPM certification. So, but outside of that, I also do so much of project management, PMP training. That is project management professional. I do that so much. I've been doing that for several years. I have actually crafted my own system that is like 100%, ironclad, you would succeed kind of guarantee for this thing. So answering that question, I'll talk more in the direction of what we do in helping people, because we are convinced that this is a potential superpower. So we want to draw as many people as possible into this mix. So you come in, okay, you're from the media area, okay, come in, you would find your media variant of what we do. Okay, you are from engineering, you would find engineering variant of all of these things. So the whole idea is, yes, we do so much in helping people. So far, we've trained over 15,000 via our programs. We do online classes, we do physical classes, we do, we have some WhatsApp groups, we have we have an email list and all of that. So yes, we've been trying in our own little way to help in this direction.
Interesting. So, do you have people with careers after training them? And are you having some trainings at the moment that people can sign up to and get a proper knowledge of project management?
Beautiful. Answering the first question of, okay, post-training, what do we do to help? I personally believe in knowing and doing, and not just knowing. If you know and you don't do, then boom, you're as good as you don't know. So what we do is we train and we follow up. And apart from that, we also help people who want to change their jobs. Because as a result of our reach, quite a number of people actually contact us when they need people in this direction. Just to recommend and say, okay, this person needs this competency. We know you can deliver. Please go there. So that is in that direction. And then in direction of our upcoming trainings, there's something coming. This is when October right now, the largest project management body in the world, the most prestigious, and that is PMI, Project Management Institute. There's something they call the PMBOK, Project Management Book of Knowledge. They will be changing that from version 6 to version 7 by the end of this year. Well, it's actually by January of next year, January 2. So it's as good as saying by the end of this year. So they'll be changing that. And for that reason, I usually tell people that if you want to write the PMP exam, you want to become PMP certified, you should act now. Because if you're able to act now and get your certification before the change in syllabus, you get a number of benefits. Number one, you get trained in PMBOK 6, and then by the time you have PMBOK 7, you also get to learn a lot about it. And then you understand both worlds. That is one. And then two is, why delay? That's the question. If you want to get some soft skills, why delay? There's so much going on in the world today. So many jobs are being, people are losing their jobs. So many roles are being combined. Now is the best time to actually up your game. Now is the best time to learn some more stuff that will make you, give you competitive edge, competitive advantage over your peers. So as I mentioned earlier, the syllabus is about to change. You should act now and get the PMP certification ASAP. And the good thing about the way we do our on the transformational experience and less on the book stuff, because my understanding of this thing is, if you focus on the transformational experience, people will be able to understand the book, because the PMP exam is such that the focus is on situational questions. They want you to be able to take decisions as a manager in the context of the reality and not just in the context of the textbook. And so that's why I mentioned earlier that I enjoy this a lot, because it speaks to the reality, it speaks to what is happening on the ground. And that is one of the reasons why I usually implore mid-level managers, maybe some not too very early level managers to up their game and in advantage position to be able to deliver this for you.
All right, thank you so much. In 60 seconds, how can we reach you if we want to sign up for any of these programs to learn about project management?
Okay, to reach me, you can just send an email to info@pm2grammar.com. Info@pm2grammar, PMCO grandma GRANDMA, grandma.com. There's a story behind our claim to grandma. Our methodology of doing our stuff, we do extensive simplification. Extensive simplification. And that's the reason why we actually pride ourselves by saying we can teach project management to the grandma. And one of the other things we also do is we call it 360-degree engagement. We call it continuous evaluation. Our methodology is the SEEA approach. The S there stands for simplification. We take simplification to the other world. The E there stands for evaluation. We evaluate you continuously. The other E there stands for the continuous evaluation, and then we also try to drill very, very deep, and then we follow up on you. The A there stands for accountability. A lot of professionals want to do so much in life. The problem is we are so busy. There's so much in our fronts. You just have it in your mind. I intend to. But we are so busy. So one of what we do and try to do very well is we put you in an accountability system in which we keep calling you, we make your targets clear, make your deliverables clear, and we keep following up, we put you in a community, and so much. So the whole idea is we want you to succeed. We want you to be able to be a better person. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim Kaizin Oladeji, the managing partner of GEM Center for Human Capital Development. I enjoyed the discussion. I'll tell you a few of my take-home from this discussion. First is from your personal life. Focus in life and know what you want if you want to succeed. That's one of the things that I'm picking up from your personal profile and your journey so far. And in business, I listened to you carefully, and I discovered that when you talk about risk, you're talking about opportunities or threats. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much, Business Day, once again, for giving us this platform to reach out to Africa. And to all my esteemed viewers, we love you and we thank you, and we're looking forward to having you next time on Saturday next week by 12 noon and 1 p.m. respectively. Thank you so much, Mr. Deji, for coming on this series.
You're welcome. I also want to thank Focus Africa. I want to thank you, Mr. Success. I thank every other person on the crew. I am very grateful, and I hope to have some very good working relationship with everybody. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Until this time next week, my name is Success Bright, your popular host. Thank you for joining.